Daniel Hasselberg, you are the CEO of MAG Interactive. Please tell me more about the company.
Yeah, we're a mobile games company based here in Stockholm. We are about 100 people and have studios here and also in the UK, in Brighton. We do casual games.
Casual games, can you explain what that means?
It's basically for people that are not gamers. That's the short version of it. So games you don't play on a console or PC, and that you play like on the run or on the commute or whenever it fits your schedule. Since we're in the free-to-play space, all the games are free to download, which means that it's going to take some time for those revenues to be generated per user. So a really important part in free-to-play is having these kind of prediction models. So we can already, after 2-3 days, have a fairly high precision on how much money is going to be generated over the next 6 months or so. And that's the kind of payback window we work with our games. And yeah, those data capabilities I think is really important for free-to-play companies. And different players have very different behaviors.
Yeah.
Most never buy anything, but they generate revenues through advertising, for example. And some have a very deep spending pattern and can generate a lot of revenues and are very valuable then to purchase. So I think there's a lot of talks about what are the CPIs, kind of cost per installs for a specific category. But it's too blunt of an instrument, so we pay everything from 50 cents to $20, depending on kind of how valuable the player is.
And could you talk more about the M&A situation? Are you growing organically, or are you looking to acquire companies?
Yeah, we do both. So last quarter we grew 44%, where almost 25 I think was organically. We've been doing acquisitions ever since 2014, so it's something that's part of our business. But we're not an acquisition vehicle. Like, we're a games company, and then sometimes we make acquisitions that fit well with us in terms of, it could be strategic component like live trivia with the Primetime acquisition, or it could be a studio that just fits well within our portfolio. So we're in talks constantly with a number of companies, and every once in a while, kind of the stars are aligned. But it's a lot about that. We don't go into bidding wars for a specific hot target. It's more, when are we the best buyer for that seller? That's when it happens. So you need to be patient.
Could you describe a situation when you think that you are the best buyer?
It could be, for example, if you take Primetime as an example, which is kind of a standalone business doing 10-20 million Swedish a year. Good business based on what they're doing. But then if you can plug that into a game that's very similar to theirs, but with millions of players, like Quiz Duel, hopefully you can really crank up the potential of their business by being a part of what we're doing. So I think that's that kind of logic. When you find that, it starts to get exciting for both sellers and buyers.
And Primetime is, as you said, it's a free-to-play game. And it's by advertising you get revenues, right?
Yeah, so the standalone Primetime app, it's only advertising, so it's sponsorships. So they have collaborations with a number of different brands that sponsor every other show or so. But with the live integration, we also sell these kind of lifesavers, livboj in Swedish. So you can kind of use that when you get a question wrong and get back into the game. So there we are combining it with both in-apps and advertising. Yeah,
we have had some changes in App Store, and Apple have made some changes. Does that affect you?
Yeah, I guess you're referring to the IDFA.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So iOS 14.5 that started rolling out a few weeks ago have this app transparency tracking regulation. So it means that you need to ask all players if you're allowed to track their behavior. So I think we all expect that it's going to have some kind of impact, unknown yet. I think I checked a couple of days ago, it's still only 15-20% that have the latest iOS version. So it's not really showing yet, but it's going to be exciting to see what happens.
Yes, and since we're talking a bit of the finance part, how does your margins look like? And do you have a margin goal?
Yeah, I mean, longer term, we talk about having at least 20% EBIT margin. Last quarter, our EBIT margin was, I think, around 15%, and the EBIT margin around 0. So we have some ways to go, but we're growing there, and it's getting better and better over time here, I think.
Yeah, and where do you see Mag Interactive in 5 years?
So I think we're on a good path right now. If you look at the last 2 years, it's really grown nicely, both organically and some good acquisitions. So I think we're going to try and continue to do what we do. It's going to look pretty bright in 5 years' time.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.